Passed. Members' motion with no legislative effect. Dr. Ng Yu's motion on improving GBA talent standards and promoting talent flow in the region. Mr. Dennis LEUNG will move an amendment to the motion. This council will proceed to a joint debate on the motion and the amendment. Later, I will first call upon Dr. Ng Yu to speak and move the motion. Then I will call upon Mr. Dennis LEUNG to speak, but he may not move the amendment at this stage. The joint debate now begins. Member who wishes to speak, please press the request to speak button. I now call upon Dr. Ng Yu to speak and move the motion. President, I move, the Greater Bay Area has been developing in leaps and bounds. Talent flow is the key to its development. The central authorities stress that we have to improve talent standards, promote talent flow in the region. This will not only enhance collaboration among the three cities, but also enhance the competitiveness of the Greater Bay Area. Under the One Country, Two System framework, we have the support of the motherland while being connected to the world. We play the role of bringing in and going global. Mainland talents can explore mainland and Greater Bay Area opportunities through Hong Kong and make use of Hong Kong as a window to connect to the rest of the world. However, in terms of talent nurturing, engagement, exchange, and professional service, we are still faced with challenges. If we can have a GBA talent standards that will promote two-way talent flow so that Hong Kong professionals can be recognized on the mainland. At the same time, mainland talents can obtain international professional qualifications in Hong Kong to enhance their competitiveness. President, the Guangdong and Hong Kong governments have been nurturing talents and setting standards for talents in the region. The measures have been very effective. The construction sector have, in terms of painters and brick layers, have a standards, and subsidy of 1,000 is provided for the relevant workers. Cross-boundary professional recognition has been put in place. The Development Bureau have put in measures to allow engineers to be recognized on the mainland. 200 engineers receive professional title on the mainland. This paved the way for convergence of rules and professional qualifications. I hope that more professionals can receive such a recognition to promote talent flow. In terms of visa arrangements, the government allow VPAT talents to stay in Hong Kong, covering 12 sectors and 34 courses. We allow graduates to stay in Hong Kong for 1 year to look for a job. Non-Hong Kong resident can apply for two-way permits. As for foreign employees employed by Hong Kong enterprises, they can apply for multi-entry visas for Shanghai. We are becoming more and more connected to the mainland. I visited many talent training bases on the mainland that are equipped with high-end technology and infrastructures. This shows their determination and capacity in training talents. We have learned some great experience from these centers. Mainland talents sometimes have difficulties adapting to the lives in Hong Kong. They are faced with language barriers. We have a Hong Kong talent engaged to provide many different services for mainland talents to adapt to our city. Together with Mr. Chan Yong, we formed the alliance to help mainland talent stay and adapt to the lives here, to promote talent flow so that we can become an international talent hub. I move this motion, hoping to reach a consensus so that we can inject new impetus into the growth of the Greater Bay Area. I have the following suggestions. First, I think that we should continue to simplify the recognition of qualifications and extend it to foremen, logistics industry. We should also enhance collaboration. We should consolidate resources on training. We should have experts provide online courses. This is how we can promote VPET in the Greater Bay Area. Currently, civil engineering, geotechnological engineering, we are piloting the professional title evaluation mechanism for it. I hope that the mechanism can be extended to healthcare, to financial industries, as well as accounting field. Hong Kong SAR could continue to work with the mainland authorities so that we can streamline this evaluation mechanism. As a result, more talents can work in the mainland and enhance their competitiveness. I think that local tertiary institutions should work with the mainland so that when international talents are employed by Hong Kong enterprises, they will enjoy a multiple visa. This is how we can promote a cross-boundary flow of knowledge. This is how we can achieve synergy in the Greater Bay Area. Second, the Construction Olympics will be held in Shanghai next year. The Institute of Engineers have invited gold medalists of the mainland to come to Hong Kong to share their experience. I think that we should leverage on these opportunities to promote exchanges of talents among the 3 cities in the Greater Bay Area so that we can create a talent network. At the same time, many enterprises, say for example CLP, Hong Kong Power, Hong Kong Electric, have a training basis on the mainland. I think that we should make good opportunities of the infrastructures and teaching force on the mainland to promote exchanges of talents. Lastly, southbound exit endorsements for talents been extended to Beijing and Shanghai. I think that we should also cover Chongqing and Tianjin so that more talents can come to Hong Kong. With these endorsements, we should also improve the visa arrangements for graduates. We should relax visa arrangements for accounting and finance talents so that they can come here more conveniently. President, the Greater Bay Area, if we work together to nurture our talents, we can improve our competitiveness. I think that we should go for policy innovation, improve our training for talent so that we can consolidate our status as international talent hub and promote the integration and high-quality development of the Greater Bay Area. I so submit. I move the motion as printed on the agenda.
Now, I put the question to you that Dr. Nguyen Yu's motion be passed. Mr. Dennis Leung, I speak to appeal to members so that they will support Mr. Nguyen's original motion and my amendment. The motion is on improving GBA talent standards and promoting talent flow in the region. We are the FTU. We speak for the for employees. We want to have a win-win situation. We want to have comprehensive development for Hong Kong. We have to remember what President Xi said. The market should be expanded. The pie should be made bigger. There should be fair allocation of shares. Under the concerted effort of development of GBA, we have seen results. Hong Kong people feel happier. We have an advantage, but there is mismatch in terms of our education. Training focuses on academic performance. There is a neglect in terms of vocational training. As a result, there is a gap. The FTU fully understands that for some sectors there is manpower shortage. It affects the operating quality of businesses. It also affects the economy. Service is not provided properly. Well, people who work in these trades work long hours. They have a heavy workload. They are earning less, and that's the reason why there are no people who want to join these trades. and even experienced workers in these trades want to leave. We want to shine the spotlight on their difficulties. When there is manpower shortage, employers only turn to imported workers. The government only focus on short-term economic development. They have forgotten about the contributions made by local workforce. The local workforce is affected by a drop in level of income. We want to have a standardization of talent so that employees can come to work to Hong Kong easily. The FTU has helped a lot of people to get recognition on the mainland, say, for example, beauty, chefing, and other areas. But we need to address the issue of manpower shortage. The most important thing is to upskill our workforce and to increase their income so that they can work properly and earn a decent income. We want to pay workers in Hong Kong and the mainland better. I want the government to make clear their stance that priority will be given local workers. The views of labor unions should be listened to. More assistance should be given by the government so that talents in Hong Kong and on the mainland will improve. We don't just want to protect the interest of Hong Kong people. On the mainland, they would also like to protect their own workforce. Communication is very important. Views will be respected. That is the only way to make things work. We want talents on both sides to benefit. Completing the talent standards, recognizing qualifications on both sides is for a win-win situation. We emphasize that the employment priority for local workers should be built into the establishment so that we can bring in talents and help talents to go out. We should all work together towards this goal to develop talent and to enhance our workforce. I so speak.
Secretary for Labour and Welfare. President, I thank Dr. Frankie Ngan for moving the motion on improving GBA talent standards and promoting talent flow in the region. I also thank Mr. Dennis LEUNG for his amendments. So that we can exchange our views on the issue, we will listen carefully to members' suggestions. Talents are the primary resource to drive development. The main thrust of the government's manpower policy is to nurture local talents, complemented by outside talents, to enrich the local talent pool for meeting the needs of societal development. To meet the earnest manpower needs as well as align with the country's national policies of new quality productive forces, we have been adopting a multi-pronged strategy to enrich the local talent pool while deepening our collaboration with other GBA mainland cities, so as to facilitate the introduction, nurturing, and exchange of talents. By promoting the flow of diversified talents in the GBA, we can speed up the development of a high-quality labor talents highland in the Bay Area. Under the framework of the Closer Economic Partnership Arrangement, or CEPA, most of the many liberalization and facilitation measures have been introduced for most areas of service trade, including relaxing the qualification requirements for Hong Kong professionals to provide service, allowing Hong Kong professionals to take part in mainland examination, registration, and practicing, as well as encourage mutual recognition of professional qualifications. We have been collaborating with mainland ministries and the Guangdong provincial government. We have maintained a close ties with industry bodies so as to promote mutual qualification, recognition, and alignment of standards between two places, so as to provide a larger playing field for professionals on both sides. I would like to make use of this opportunity to introduce several key points of our work. In architectural and engineering services, our professional institutions and the relevant mainland regulatory bodies have signed mutual recognition agreements on the professional qualification of 6 professions. With our joint efforts, the professional title mechanism applicable to Hong Kong professionals have been established in 2023. The pilot arrangement provides for an innovative pathway for Hong Kong professionals to attain professional titles in the mainland and marks a major breakthrough in terms of alignment of standards. Integration into the mainland professional title mechanism will help Hong Kong professionals to have their skills and qualifications recognized in the mainland market. In terms of financial services, we are dedicated to establish a two-way flow bridge for professionals. Under CEPA, liberalization measures have been introduced for financial services industries. For example, mainland professionals in the field of securities, fund, and futures may be deemed as having fulfilled the licensing qualifications in Hong Kong by the SFC. In terms of the banking industry, professionals on both sides may obtain dual qualifications under the mutual recognition system and enhance their competitiveness. In terms of legal services, under the liberalization measures piloted in mainland cities of the GBA under the Agreement on Trade in Services of CEPA, qualifying Hong Kong lawyers and barristers, after passing the GBA legal professional examination and attaining practicing certificates in the Bay Area, they may handle civil and commercial legal matters in the 9 mainland cities in the Bay Area. In terms of dispute resolution services, we have been collaborating with the Guangdong provincial government and the Macau government to publish the GBA mediator panel and lay the foundation for establishing a pool of mediation talents in the Bay Area. Besides the above areas, policy bureaus and departments have been promoting talent exchange in their own policy portfolios. For example, in terms of medical and nursing services, under CEPA, 12 categories of registered medical healthcare professionals may practice on a short-term basis in the mainland. In terms of qualification framework, the HKCAVQ has been helping the Guangdong provincial government to establish a lifelong learning qualification framework, which lay a foundation for further exchange and collaboration in terms of qualification recognition. Now, the introduction above only covered parts of the government's work. Our goal is to give play to our unique strength under one country, two systems, and give play to our dual roles as an international talent hub and a gateway for the country's talent. By leveraging on our roles as a super connector and a super value adder, we will step up on our work on enhancing mutual recognition of talent qualification and promote flow of talents in the Bay Area and speed up the development of new quality productive forces. President, I will listen carefully to members' views and give a consolidated reply to members' views. Thank you.
Mr. Sunny Tan, thank you. I am the chairperson of the Productivity Council, and I'm also a member of VPET, the the VTC. Well, talent is very important. Universities and self-financing education institutions have relaxed the entry requirements. A lot more people are coming to Hong Kong to study. I think more importantly is how we can remove barriers on training, internship, certification. We need to create a proper ecosystem so that there will be seamless merge of talents on the mainland and Hong Kong. I have some suggestions. First, to enhance the visa applications for mainland talents. Summer is around the corner. A lot of mainland students would like to engage in internships in Hong Kong. The Hong Kong PC runs annual internship programs. This year, we have successfully employed mainland universities to join our internship program. It's taken at least 4 weeks to vet their applications. We also have to follow up the case very closely for the approval. Well, we asked the government to consider, when on top of training visa, there should be green channel for short-term internship programs so that multinational corporations and local enterprises will find it easier to employ mainland youngsters. It also helped them adjust to our employment market. We also need to enhance a mutual recognition of qualifications. The government launched a VPAS, a vocational professionals admission schemes. It will be on a pilot basis for 2 years to attract mainland vocational professionals to come to stay in Hong Kong. It's very well received. Over 120 enterprises support the scheme. A large number of mainland students have joined the scheme. Half of them are from Guangdong province. But it's still quite new. It's difficult to assess the effectiveness. I asked the government to extend the scheme coverage to at least 4 areas from graduation to employment. Students should be allowed to take part-time courses to upskill themselves. The government should also enhance the mutual recognition of sub-degrees as well as diplomas. This will make it easier for mainland students to come to Hong Kong to study. Hong Kong students will also find it easier to find work or study on the mainland. In Macau, there are over 40 disciplines that can apply for certification on the mainland. But in Hong Kong, under VTC, there's just hairdressing as well as beauty courses. And there are only a few posts that can apply for the multiple certificate program. I think more disciplines should be added so that when students graduate, they will be able to receive certifications of the mainland so that they can join the labor market. Hong Kong is the most internationalized city in the GBA. We have a rich pool of talent. We have huge potential. We just need to make it easier. We need to standardize the different qualifications. We need to enhance transparency so that Hong Kong can contribute to the development of a talent flow in GBA. I speak in support of the motion. Mr. Chow Man Kwong. I speak in support of Dr. NGAN's original motion. Hong Kong is highly internationalized. If we are to build Hong Kong into an international education hub, as well as a talent cluster, we do need to work with other cities in the GBA. I'll speak about mutual recognition of academic qualifications, talent flow, and other measures. I want to enrich the original motion. I want the motion to be more operable. The urgent issue is that the government should talk to ministries and commissions to update the agreement on mutual recognition of qualification, especially qualifications relating to vocational professions. We need to maximize the use of talents. If there is an outdated recognition of qualifications, talent will not flow easily. Back in 2004, July, there was an agreement signed in relation to mutual recognition of tertiary education certification. There was proper recognition of qualifications of degrees. That includes the qualifications of the 8 UGC-funded universities. Students can go to either side of the border to further their studies. A lot of local graduates would like to seize the opportunity of the development of the GBA to further their studies or set up businesses. However, when it comes to sub-degree, the qualification is not recognized by the mainland. And some self-financing institutions are not able to take mainland students. There should be negotiations to update the mutual recognition of qualifications. Back in 2019, the Ministry of Education has signed an agreement with Macau and Hong Kong. Use that as the blueprint. Change the qualification from degree programs to associate degree programs. the list should be extended to all Hong Kong education institutions. This will be conducive to attracting overseas students to sign up on vocational or sub-degree programs. It also helps to train talent. It will address manpower shortage. It also enables sub-degree holders to go to the mainland to further their studies or start their businesses or start employment. If we are to build the River Loop as an INT hub, we need to create a conducive environment for talents to freely move. The government should talk to the Shenzhen municipalities to make some breakthrough. For example, there can be a white list focusing on INT enterprises in the loop. In terms of sectors with an acute shortage of manpower, there should be mutual recognition of qualifications. We also need to train talents. The two sides should work together. Hong Kong is transforming towards high quality development. There is a particular area that Hong Kong has an advantage. It has a huge premium. We should boost it. We can cooperate with mainland institutions to organize more programs to train talents of multi-skills, so speak.
多謝主席。
Mr. Lam Chansing, thank you, President. Now, improving talent flow. I know that the SCR government has adopted many measures. They are working with the Guangdong and Shenzhen governments to establish a GBA standards for bricklayers and painters. As long as these two types of workers pass one examination, they can receive multiple certifications in the Greater Bay Area so that they can work in different cities in the region. Apart from the construction industry, I think that the government should continue to talk to the Guangdong provincial government to extend the relevant mechanism to logistics and transport industries so that we can have one examination, multiple certification across different sectors. Over the long run, we should review our qualifications framework. We can learn from the same system on the mainland. Apart from one examination, multiple certification system, the Hong Kong also piloted the professional title evaluation mechanism together with the Guangdong government. 5 engineering disciplines will have their professional qualifications recognized by the mainland. The first pilot scheme covered 5 disciplines covering civil engineering, geotechnical, highway, electrical measurement, control and instrumentation, so on and so forth. In the next batch, manufacturing, industrial and system engineering will be covered. Hopefully, more favorable environment will be created for various sectors. If we can have mutual recognition of qualifications, we can enhance our competitiveness. Over 20 years ago, we did not have the qualification framework, and trade unions back then have our local chefs obtain qualifications on the mainland. Back then, the employee retraining board just established without a local training standards. So as a result, we adopt some mainland standards in Hong Kong. But that's not the case for all of the sectors. In Hong Kong, we have international qualifications for arborists, beauticians that adopt international standards. I think that mainland can learn from our set of rules so that the mainland practitioners can obtain international qualifications. This is how we can play our role in the Greater Bay Area. The government just rolled out a VPAS, vocational professional admission scheme for, say, for example, electrical technicians. As long as they receive a licensed in Hong Kong, they have their qualifications recognized. If mainland electricians can obtain licenses in Hong Kong, then the relevant mechanism can serve as a reference for the Greater Bay Area. Many local practitioners said that even after 5 years of working, their employers may not give them a proof of employment because they are afraid that these workers would go for another job. As a result, it's difficult for young workers to obtain Class A license. If we can easily recognize the mainland qualifications, allowing them to come to work in Hong Kong and obtain Class A license, this may not be fair for local practitioners. I hope that the government, when they admit mainland professionals, will pay attention to this point. We have to accord employment priority for local workers. So I support Mr. Dennis Leung's amendment. But the original motion is not about importation of workers, but the setting of GBA talent standards. With the standard, it does not mean that non-local workers can come to Hong Kong freely. This is a separate subject. We need another mechanism to address the issue. President, I support the motion. I so submit. Mr. Lam San-Kun. President, in order to promote talent collaboration and flow, we need to align standards and rules in the region. Before that, we have to set standards in Hong Kong. For English, a PhD is called Juris Doctor, and Chinese University for Hong Kong U and City U is called the Masters of Laws. So titles are different among 3 different tertiary institutions in Hong Kong. Regarding the 3 law schools in Hong Kong, the questions for professional examinations are different. So we don't have a standard examination for legal professionals in Hong Kong, let alone setting GBA standards. For us to promote talent flow, we are to contribute to the country so that we can become an international talent hub. Currently, people have to prove that they are talents by obtaining professional titles, not just a degree. Many professional standards are set by US and UK, say for example, the CFA of the finance industry, CPA of the accounting sector, CNG of the engineering industry. It seems that countries all around the globe adopt Western standards because these countries lead the world previously, but this is in the past. With the technological advancement of our country, we lead the world in many different fields. Hong Kong is one of the top 3 financial centers. Chinese manufactured products are along the Belt and Road countries. These countries have to nurture their own accountants, engineers, and financiers, and they have to abide by the Chinese standards. So we do have the potential to internationalize our country's standards. In other words, we have to have Belt and Road countries recognize our talent standards so that we can incorporate Chinese standards into international standards. On building international talent standards, Hong Kong can play a role. We can first develop GBA talent and then extend it to the Belt and Road countries. Although most of our local qualifications are recognized by US and the UK, but we serve only 7 million people. If our professional titles can be recognized in the Greater Bay Area and the mainland, then we can serve 80 million people. If we can have GBA standards become the country's standard, then the potential market is even greater. This term of the government is developing tertiary institutions. We encourage overseas and mainland students to come to Hong Kong. But I think that the government should take a step forward. For these Belt and Road graduates, once they leave the school, they want to seek jobs in Hong Kong. I think that the government should encourage this group of graduates to obtain GBA talents. After they have worked in the Greater Bay Area, they may return to their countries. And we can take this opportunity to ask the Belt and Road countries to recognize our standards. And this is how we can internationalize our country's standards. I think that the government should continue to work with other governments in the Greater Bay Area so that we can create a GBA talent standards and examinations as well submit. Dr. Tan Yuhen. Thank you, President. Among different cities in the Greater Bay Area, we don't have a standard rules and regulations. In order for us to become a world-class cluster, we have to work together and complement each other. As a result, the Industry Council in 2023 promote the use of GBA talent standards so that we can improve the service quality. Currently, the talent standards have been set and 244, covering 1,600 institutions have been covered. This is how we can promote the integrated development of the Greater Bay Area. So I support the motion moved by Dr. Ngaman Yu. We should cover more products and talents in the one examination multiple certification system. We should leverage on policy institution to break geographical barriers. Through mutual recognition of qualifications, we can enhance the quality of talent nurturing and training. This is how we can connect talents in the Greater Bay Area and promote the development of infrastructures in the region. First, we have to set a talent training standards and qualifications recognition regulations. The three governments and professional institutions should set together talent standards covering academic background, skills, work experience, and other requirements. We should review these standards regularly and update it in time. And we should adjust it in accordance with the market situation so that the standards can be up to date. At the same time, we should leverage on our own advantage to set training standards. We have to enhance the quality of training, say, for example, in construction and building industry. We have to enhance the integration of talents. This is conducive to the development of the Northern Metropolis. This is how we can allow global mainland and Hong Kong enterprises go global. At the same time, we should encourage local institutions to make use of GBA standards. Many local enterprises are connected to the world. The three governments in the region can, through tax concessions, encourage local enterprises and institutions to work with mainland enterprises so that we can establish a common standards based on our local standards. We can roll out training courses to nurture high-quality talents so that we can attract more overseas professionals. At the same time, we should create a database on trends, on pool of talents, so that we can share them with other cities. Third, we should promote mutual recognitions of professional qualifications so that local professional qualifications can be recognized in the Greater Bay Area. The GBA standards for 2 types of work have been recognized in recent days. I hope that the government will work towards this direction to extend it to more types of work so that we can expand the coverage of qualifications, recognition, and this one examination multiple certification system. This is how we can remove barriers and restrictions. I so submit. I support the motion and the amendments.
Mr. Leung, thank you, President. I would first like to thank Dr. Yu for proposing the original motion. We have been trying hard to recruit talents, and the government has been working to construct an international hub for high-caliber talents in Hong Kong. The GBA is a world-class cluster. Every city in the GBA has its own strategy and positioning. We have a dense population in the GBA. If we can facilitate the flow of talents in the region and better play our role as a springboard for going global and attracting talent and investment, there will be benefits. I believe with GBA standards, we will have unified standards for training and examination certification so that talents can practice in different cities of the GBA. The bottleneck we face right now is that there are barriers with the recognition of qualifications that has impeded flow of talents. We have mainland authorities promulgating a declaration to encourage professionals of different professions to practice in the Greater Bay Area. With the filing of records, professional titles can be obtained. We have over 200 engineers of Hong Kong having passed the relevant assessment and obtained professional titles in the mainland. We have a number of lawyers obtaining lawyers' licenses to practice in the GBA. We need to align better with national standards. It is hard, however, for right now of those with the mainland qualifications to practice in Hong Kong. We do have different standards in different professions. We cannot overly generalize the situation. I think we can start with professions and trades that have less of a differential in standards. We also need to make sure the training curriculum will incorporate elements of GBA cities so that we can nurture the skilled talents required in the GBA in general. We have launched piloting arrangements for 2 professions already, and we have the one examination multiple certification arrangement for construction professionals. I think this is good because we are in great need of such talents. Upon passing the relevant certifications, they can start working immediately in the relevant trades. I suggest expanding the OEMC arrangement to other professions so as to facilitate recognition of qualifications in more trades and promote flow of talents in the region. We also need to make sure training quality is up to par. I hope the government will work with mainland authorities and organizations to have the tertiary institutions of different GBA cities promulgate training courses that are suitable for talents of the region. I so submit speaking in support of the motion. Mr. Robert Lee. We are to become an international hub for high caliber talents. I therefore support what is proposed in the original motion. We have been talking about deepening cooperation in finance as well as the nurturing of financial talents under the CEPA framework for accountancy, construction, and other professions. We have some agreements signed in the financial sector. The SFC has signed an MOU for recognition of qualifications with the CSRC, but we still have professionals having to take relevant examinations in the mainland. In order to promote talent exchange in the GBA, I have some suggestions. We should have direct mutual recognition of qualifications in the GBA. We should also streamline the relevant vetting procedures to promote talent exchanges and to facilitate practitioners to practice on both sides. To realize this vision, the government can liaise with the mainland authorities and organizations to pilot the arrangement in some of the GBA cities and then expand it to the rest of the GBA or even other mainland cities. We should also have regard to the relevant SFC practice of issuing licenses to see if we can issue temporary licenses to practitioners so that we can have practitioners conduct relevant activities under the temporary licenses. We have also arrangements for more channels for practitioners to practice in different GBA cities, and we should expand such arrangement. We should try to make sure our policies for recruiting talents are actively being taken forward. We should also formulate 5 to 10 year manpower development blueprints and gauge the effectiveness of relevant measures. We should make adjustments if necessary with regard to the findings of such reviews. We should also actively publicize the relevant measures and provide support services for mutual recognition of qualifications. There should also be examination exemption arrangements to incentivize professionals to practice in other GBA cities. Right now, we have under the Talent Pass Scheme Category B applications that one has to have only a bachelor's degree and a 3-year work experience requirement. Their spouses are not required in terms of having any qualifications and experience. We should put in place requirements of relevant experience to make sure the talents we are recruiting are the ones we actually need. We should, in general, facilitate mutual recognition of qualifications in different professions and facilitate Hong Kong practitioners in practicing in the mainland, as well as actively recruit talents from mainland and overseas to Hong Kong so that we can become an international hub for high caliber talents. I so submit speaking in support of the motion. Mr. Edmund Wong. Hong Kong is an international financial center. This is thanks to us having a pool of funds as well as a sound legal system. It is also thanks to us having diversified professional talents to provide quality professional services to clients. Dr. Edmund Yu proposed a motion on improving GBA talent standards and promoting talent flow in the region, specifically to deepen cooperation in various areas to facilitate talent flow in the region. This is a good opportunity to exchange our views. In accountancy, the sector I represent, we have a long history of providing quality services, and the HKICPA is a founding member of the Global Accountancy Alliance, and we have very early on been providing quality services in the mainland. We have also had professionals of Hong Kong providing training to mainland professionals. The HKICPA worked with 10 institutions, signing an MOU with them to provide the latest insights on the profession and training on the qualification program, as well as career planning and QP talks. And this will help with exemption of modules of the qualification program. This can help nurture talents in accountancy and financial services in the country. It also demonstrates how Hong Kong has been actively participating the development of such in the development of the GBA in training, accreditation, and alignment of standards to make contributions to the high quality development of the country. We have the accountancy sector of Hong Kong providing services in the mainland for long and providing training, but for local practitioners to practice in the mainland, there are still some minor issues. Right now, in order to obtain qualifications to practice in the mainland, they need to take specific examinations on the mainland. They can have exemptions from certain modules under the CEPA framework. However, because of the difference in the modes of examination, even though CPAs in Hong Kong are entitled to exemptions from modules, it is very hard for them to obtain the qualification to practice in the mainland. So this has become a restriction. Ever since I have become a LegCo member, I have been striving for local practitioners to practice in GBA cities with a lower threshold, so that we can expedite the development of the GBA and promote talent flow in the region, as well as to construct a high quality hub of accountancy talents in the GBA. I so submit speaking in support of the motion.
Mr. Tony Che. Thank you, President. Promoting GBA talent standards and talent flow in the region can enhance the competitiveness of the region. This can also bring about positive impacts on various industries. In order to align our standards, we need to focus on professional standards. Back in 2003, as the president of the Institute of Hong Kong Surveyors, I tried to promote the mutual recognition of professional qualifications of surveyors between Hong Kong and the mainland. The task was not easy. This is because our standards did not align and the professional titles varied for Hong Kong surveyors as well as quantity surveyors. In the mainland, the titles are different.
Take property management in Hong Kong as an example. Over the years, we have called for mutual recognition of qualifications with the mainland, but we haven't yet seen a mature qualifications framework for property management in the mainland, so there is still a long way to go. Even for professionals in Hong Kong who've got the professional qualifications in the mainland, it doesn't mean that they can run the relevant businesses. In 2018, the mainland authorities allowed Hong Kong construction enterprises in 9 GBA cities start their businesses as long as they make the relevant reports. We managed to break the barriers, but that was just the starting point. The real challenge lies in how we can allow for tendering to happen for Hong Kong enterprises in Hong Kong. We also have to deal with the gap between the level of technologies and regulations. We have to ensure there are enough projects for Hong Kong enterprises to take part in as well in the mainland. We cannot simply rely on individual professional bodies and industry associations to work on these. The government must actively take part in this and promote united efforts. I have the following suggestions. We should set up a professional standard alignment committee. Second, we should have a dedicated window for this. And third, we have to have a cross-boundary internship program for young professionals. Fourth, we should come up with a digital platform for mutual recognition for professional qualifications. The GDP in the GBA, 9 GBA cities is $13 trillion, and that's way ahead of Hong Kong. It provides a broad stage for Hong Kong talent, and by promoting mutual recognition of professional qualifications, we can bring about economic benefits. As for the idea of jobs for local first, I agree with this idea, but we should not hinder the development of local professionals. We need fair competition. We need to broaden the horizon of local talents. Over the years, a number of professionals in Hong Kong have been working with overseas professionals in Hong Kong. There have been competition between the two, and this allowed for the enhancement of professional standards of our talents. In recent years, through exchanges with our counterparts in the mainland, we have been able to broaden our horizons as well. Protectionism cannot create world-class talents. There have been worries whether there would be an influx of professional talents from the mainland to compete for jobs with locals. However, the truth is that many professionals from Hong Kong have been to the mainland to pursue development, so we shouldn't be too worried about this. We need room in the market, and this is a great opportunity for us to take part in the strategic development of our country. This way, we can promote talent development. We can reach our climax. I so submit. Thank you. Professor William Wong. President, I thank Dr. Frankie An for moving this motion on improving GBA talent standards and promoting talent flow in the region. Developing the GBA is an important strategy of our country. The GBA covers 9 cities and 2 regions with a population of 86 million, and the economic volume is 1.9 trillion. The key to creating synergy lies in promoting talent development. We need hardware, infrastructure, we also need talents. The reality is that we fall behind in terms of mutual recognition for professional qualifications, so we are seeing a bottleneck in terms of talent flow. If we do not confront the problem, there won't be real connectivity of talents between Hong Kong and the mainland. Over the years, we have seen a register for professional qualifications in the mainland. The professional titles there are different from those in Hong Kong, and the way for assessment are different as well. Both professionals as well as skilled workers have faced problems with mutual recognition of professional qualifications. We need breakthroughs, and I have the following 3 suggestions. First, the SAR government should expand the scope for assessment for professionals in Hong Kong. Last year, in engineer industry, there were over 200 engineers from Hong Kong. Through the new mechanism, obtained the relevant professional titles in the mainland. Apart from the engineering sector, we also need mutual recognition, especially in INT, finance, the legal sector, as well as other professional services. These are the key drivers for us to upgrade our industries, so they should be incorporated into the mutual recognition mechanism. Also, the SA government should work with the mainland authorities to create a accreditation platform which apply to both Hong Kong and the mainland. They should cover the verification of authenticity of certificates and the assessment of professional qualifications. Currently, skilled workers who want to pursue development in the mainland, they have to go through cumbersome vetting procedures. They have to hand in a lot of paperwork. If we can make use of blockchain technologies and AI, we can boost efficiency. We can also enhance the reliability of the mechanism. Third, we have to cultivate talents together. There should be VPAT system between Hong Kong and the mainland. We need medium ranking talent. I suggest that the government support VTC in Hong Kong in setting up campuses in the GBA so that it can open up courses for mutual recognition of qualifications. There should be an education city to recognize the qualifications of young professionals from Hong Kong and the Greater Bay Area so that qualified young professionals can work in the GBA. This can help address the manpower crunch. Also, the work of mutual recognition of qualifications should be incorporated in the working group in the GBA. There should be a dedicated group or task force to handle this matter. We should adopt an industry-oriented approach to come up with a list of talents that we see a shortage of. We should see free flow of talents between the 2 places. It is through the flow of talents that we can inject impetus to our economy. I hope the education sector can work together to promote a system of coordination. I hope that everyone with the relevant qualifications can give full play to their potential in the GBA. Thank you. Mr. Martin Lau. President. President, we have reached a time where we can make breakthroughs in terms of standard alignment. Under the SIPA arrangement, eligible professionals in Hong Kong such as architects, structural engineers, lawyers, and so on, they can through the SIPA framework or mutual recognition mechanism obtain the relevant qualifications in the mainland. This benefits a lot of professionals here. The SAR government should continue to explore with the mainland authorities to expand the mutual recognition mechanism to benefit more professionals from the two places. I am a practicing lawyer. So far, 560 lawyers from Hong Kong and Macau have passed the legal exam and got the relevant certificate from the mainland. However, a lot of legal practitioners said that after they've got the license in the GBA, they haven't yet had the chance to practice in the region. I hope that the government can work with the GBA so that we can build a platform for lawyers from the three places to exchange information so that when they get the license and when they practice in the region, they can help promote the brand together. Apart from aligning with international standards, well, we have had good reputation around the world. Apart from bringing in GBA talents, we can help talents to go global as well. I know that the Shenzhen, Hong Kong, Macau FinTech Alliance was set up in 2019. It helped promote the unification of talent standard. Hong Kong is the international financial center. It is the fourth biggest fintech center in the world. A unified standard means that we have the relevant advantages. With the advantages in the GBA, we can promote competitiveness among professionals and we can promote connectivity between the GBA and the international world. The government can encourage the cooperation among the three places to help bring in talents and help talents go global. The Development Bureau, together with the Guangdong Province and the Macau government, has set standards for skilled workers, and it has promoted the one exam multiple certification arrangement. That is, by passing the GBA exam, you can get certificates from the three places. We have had painters as well as brick workers who can benefit from the mechanism. For electrical and mechanical engineers, we have different standards or licensing requirements between Hong Kong and the mainland. So the SAR government can explore aligning our standards with that in the mainland. The CLP has been promoting and offering courses for its staff who want to get the relevant licenses in the mainland. The government can also leverage the forces of enterprises to help practitioners get licenses in different areas. For example, we can help them get licenses to work in railway projects as well as in confined spaces. However, the government should bear in mind jobs for locals first, as it comes up with the relevant standards. In recent years, Hong Kong, together with the GBA, there have been deepened cooperation to help ourselves integrate with the country's development. The central government has promulgated guidelines stating that we need to promote the use of resources to help talent develop themselves. We have to work with the GBA to set standards so that there could be free flow of talent in the region and that there could be deeper collaborations among the GBA. I so submit. Thank you.
Dr. Wendy Hong. Thank you, President. I speak in support of Dr. Frankie Ngan's motion. I have three suggestions. One, we need to attract talent having regard to the demand for talents. In order to solve the existing manpower crunch, a lot of talent admission schemes have been implemented in order to draw for talents. A lot of them have been put in place, attracting a total of 200,000 talents to Hong Kong through different schemes. These schemes, however, were implemented from the perspective of the supply side. They don't necessarily match the vacancies we see in Hong Kong. That's why I suggest having regard to the demand side in order to attract talents in a more targeted manner. Say we need to attract talents that we lack in Hong Kong. or we need to attract talent to work in industries in which we see a manpower crunch in Hong Kong. This will prevent a mismatch. As for high caliber talents, we need to headhunt these high caliber talents and attract them to come to Hong Kong. I'd also like to share a concept of the pooling of talent. Our country has given us the position or the status as an international hub for high caliber talents. Quite a lot of talents in the US and Europe want to go to the mainland or Hong Kong. They care about their career prospect, but also the living environment, tax environment, and so on. I believe the living environment of Hong Kong is appealing to them, and I believe it is a feasible option for us to share talents with our country. Say for a particular industry in the mainland, if they need high caliber talents, they may consider establishing a presence in Hong Kong. Then they can attract these overseas talents to Hong Kong. In turn, these talents will serve our country. On the one hand, this will drive the local development, and on the other hand, this will also meet our manpower demand. This is a win-win situation for all three parties. Attracting talents should be taken forward alongside developing our industries. Earlier on, I talked to a very experienced senior management official in Hong Kong U. For local graduates of science and engineering, I asked about the ratio of these graduates in these realms. The answer was quite surprising. That's about 40%. The ratio we see in UST is even higher than 40%. We put in a lot of efforts into STEAM and we train quite a lot of talents. But we didn't have a diverse economic structure. That's why the INT industry wasn't mature enough for us to attract talents. For local STEM graduates, a lot of them have chosen to switch to another career, or they have chosen to leave Hong Kong. Only a small number of them have decided to work in the INT sector. In relation to Silicon Valley, they attract a lot of R&D talents, and the key lies in the appeal on the relevant industry. That's why we need industry and we need talents at the same time. We need both of them. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to attract talent. Therefore, when it comes to attracting talents, the government should work with the industries in order to expand our economic foundation or basis. We need to work on both together. I so submit. Thank you, President. Dr. Loh Wai Kwok. Thank you, President. I thank Dr. Frank King An for moving this motion and Mr. Dennis Leung for the amendment. Hong Kong is an international hub for high-caliber talents, and we bring together a lot of different diversified talents to Hong Kong. We have the responsibility for connecting our country and the GBA. We have the dual role of bringing in and going global. Recently, Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau have achieved quite a lot of progress when it comes to attracting talents. In January 2024, a framework was established, and this has laid the foundation of an agreement in relation to talents. The aim is to attract global talents to the GBA. Since 2023, with CEPA arrangement, we have achieved quite a lot of progress in relation to mutual connection. However, we need to solve problems in relation to institutional differences or professional qualifications mismatch. That's why we need to promote the flow of talents across regions. Professional services, especially for the engineering sector, have been making contributions to the country, and we have been working very hard to dovetail into the national strategy. In 2018, I've been working with Mr. Tong Ni-che. We received a positive reply, and our suggestion would be taken on board and implemented under the CEPA arrangement. The relevant trade agreement was brought into effect in June 2020. We managed to expand our mainland market. Services were provided in the GBA and that was due to the strategy or policy implemented by the Development Bureau. There are differences in relation to regulations and mechanisms. This makes it difficult for us to achieve standardization of attracting talents. We do need to improve the interfacing of different standards. We also need unified standards when it comes to attracting talents. I'm glad to see in this area we have 2 results, one of which is one examination and multiple certification, and the other is the professional title in mainland. The Development Bureau has been working with the mainland counterpart, and we have set up a professional title mechanism in the engineering sector. In January this year, over 200 Hong Kong engineers passed examinations and obtained the professional titles in the mainland. This marked a breakthrough when it comes to the unified standards of professional titles. In the 2024 policy address, the chief executive talked about the one examination multiple certification arrangement for technicians or construction workers. When they pass one examination, then they will receive certificates of 3 places or recognized by 3 places. This will facilitate the flow of talents. We need to help more professional sectors to implement the mutual recognition of standards, including education, healthcare, financial, environmental protection, and so on. We also need to help different professional bodies in Hong Kong to compare notes with the mainland counterparts. We need to conduct more exchanges in relation to my member's bill on the Hong Kong IQEP. It was passed by the Council on the 30th of October 2024. One of the main purposes was to enhance the status of the relevant professionals in Hong Kong and to make it convenient for local professionals to have a unified standard with overseas talents or professionals. We have been making improvements to the unification of mutual standards of the 2 places. Thank you, President. Dr. So Chang-Wing. Thank you, President. Hong Kong is an important window for the country and the GBA to open up to the world. We bring together diversified talents from all around the world. The GBA development is at full steam. It attracts a lot of talents to Hong Kong. We must give full play to our role as a super connector in order to attract more talents and to help with the unification of the standards. We have the responsibility for removing the bottlenecks. We need to bring in and go global together. We act as a 2-way platform. I thank Dr. Frankie Ngan for removing this motion, and I also thank Mr. Dennis LEUNG for his amendment. We have the common law system in Hong Kong. We are a highly internationalized city. We have an open and free business environment. All these help us attract a lot of top-tier talents to Hong Kong. According to the latest survey, we have brought together 210,000 professionals to Hong Kong, covering areas like financial, technology, legal sector, healthcare, and so on. We have achieved much progress when it comes to attracting talents to Hong Kong, as well as the unification of standards. Over 200 Hong Kong engineers have obtained the professional titles in the mainland, and this marked a breakthrough in the mutual recognition of qualifications and standards. Having said that, we are still facing different challenges. We need to face the existing institutional differences, such as the lack of unified standards when it comes to talent standards. In the healthcare and legal sectors, owing to significant differences in regulation and standards, professionals are required to sit professional exams once again in order to be able to practice in the other area. There is a lack of coordination as well. Procedures for cross-boundary practice certification are cumbersome. This will affect the desire for professionals to cross the boundary to work. Therefore, I suggest that we need to have a list of professional standards in the GBA. We need to give priority to the financial sector, INT sector, as well as the accounting sector. We need to have a unified standard with the GBA. Take engineers as an example. We need to expand the system to other areas in order to facilitate more professionals in adapting to the working environment in the GBA so that they can unleash their full potential. When it comes to professionals in which there are more institutional differences, I suggest setting up GBA professional alliances. The professional bodies in 3 places should work together and set up a continuous education framework alongside unified standards. We need to remove barriers. For instance, we need to explore the establishment of a limited practice mechanisms. This will allow the relevant professionals to provide limited practice in a certain area. We also need to draw reference from the arrangement of one examination, multiple certification in the construction sector. In other words, professionals only need to sit one examination, then they will have multiple certification in different places. We need to consider incorporating the arrangement for one examination, multiple certification into the system. I so submit. Thank you, President.
Mr. Chen Yong. Thank you, President. Thank you, Acting Secretary, for attending today's meeting. I speak in support of Dr. Amin Yu's original motion to improve GBA talent standards and promote talent flow in the region. We can see in the country, the central authorities have plans for Hong Kong to become an international hub for high-caliber talents. Indeed, we have seen this being a bottleneck in our development. According to President Xi, we need talents to thrive. Under one country, 2 systems, we have great advantages to further development in the GBA and facilitate talent flow, to help enterprises go global and bring in talents. The Chief Executive also said multiple times that we actively participate in the development of the GBA. And in history, even in the Qin dynasty, they have been actively recruiting talents, and that was how they succeeded in unifying the different regions. This is also how the U.S. became successful, because they managed to recruit talents from different places in the world. Many DAB members and electrical members who are NPC deputies have been making suggestions in this regard. Say for
legal practitioners to obtain lawyers' licenses to practice in the GBA, not only does it provide more opportunities for practitioners, but it also facilitates Hong Kong in making contributions to the country by attracting enterprises and investment to come to the GBA. We have a gap in manpower. Thanks to the Labor and Welfare Bureau's Top Talent Pass scheme, we have professionals coming to Hong Kong not only paying taxes, but they also create job opportunities because some of them may be entrepreneurs. This has really helped facilitate promotion of talent flow in the region because there are more opportunities. On this solid foundation, we are expanding capacity. And I hope that people will no longer think that our job opportunities are being taken away because the government has been prioritizing local employment. The DAB has made a number of concrete suggestions before, and I will actually highlight some of them here. We should have the one examination, multiple certification arrangement expanded, just like what we have for legal practitioners in the GBA. We should expand to different professions. So if we have an enterprise seeking legal services in Hong Kong, they can actually get services in the GBA. So this is a win-win situation. We should also provide visa facilitation measures so that it will be easier for people to travel within a GBA. Due to time constraints, I can't talk about all the suggestions made by the DAB, but I think with more measures we can promote talent flow better. I so submit. Thank you. Mr. Frankie Yik, we are faced with a number of challenges: an aging population, a declining fertility rate, we have a lower working population. We have the unemployment rate rise to 3.5%, but in the logistics industry, we have a number of professions that have a chronic manpower gap. We also lack new blood in the industry that has impeded operations of the industry and the general economic activity. The Liberal Party thanks the government for promulgating labor importation schemes so that for the coach and minibus trades, they can import labor to meet the manpower gap. In last year's policy address, the chief executive said for the next 3 years, we will have 10,000 practitioners to come to Hong Kong to meet the manpower gap of 60,000. We have the applications being invited since a couple of weeks ago, and we have had senior government officials brief stakeholders on the relevant measures. So say for specific practice or trades in the maritime industry, say for coxswains or marine engineer officers, they often already have qualifications in the mainland. If we expect them to take more examinations in Hong Kong, it is unlikely going to happen. So we need to have mutual recognition of qualifications so that for mainland coxswains, they only need to learn about the specific circumstances of Hong Kong to practice in Hong Kong. And for marine engineer officers, there shouldn't be any restrictions at all with the recognition of qualifications so that they do not have to study everything all over again. With relaxation of restrictions, we can have more mainland talents come to Hong Kong to meet the manpower gap so that Hong Kong's economic activities will not be suspended simply due to manpower restrictions. We can also facilitate local practitioners in practicing in the mainland, facilitating talent exchange. If there is mutual recognition of qualification and unification of standards, that would be ideal. The Liberal Party suggests that we should have a framework for recognition of qualifications to ensure fairness and transparency. There should also be a unified examination curriculum and corresponding training curricula, and have one examination, multiple certification arrangement launched so that with one examination, one can obtain multiple certifications. So for electric or hydrogen vessels or other autonomous vessels, the mainland is a pioneer in relevant training. So we should have local institutions working with the academic institutions in the mainland to provide relevant training. Not only will that nurture talents in the relevant areas, it will also provide more opportunities for local students to learn about the latest technologies. Regarding what Mr. Dennis Leung proposed about enhancing communication and forging consensus with various industry councils and labor unions to improve the GBA talent standards and promote talent flow, the Labour Party has the following views. We all along agree that we should prioritize local employment, and when there are options for employers should hire local workers. It is actually more costly to hire imported workers, and the relevant arrangement would have to be renewed every 2 years. We think the mutual recognition of qualifications also should apply only to professionals rather than grassroots workers. So we do not support Mr. Dennis Leung's amendments because it goes against our vision. I so submit. Mr. Tang Fei, I speak in support of Dr. Amin Yu's original motion. Talent exchanges should be two-way, and therefore facilitating local practitioners in working in the mainland is also an important part of this. We have recently the Federation of Education Workers arranging a mainland visit. We can see how many opportunities there are in the mainland in Shanghai. And President Xi has emphasized how many opportunities are brought about by the development of Shanghai to Hong Kong. We have seen President Xi said on multiple occasions that Shanghai can provide great opportunities to different groups, young entrepreneurs, and we have also had the president say it is only when young people thrive that Hong Kong will thrive. I would like to thank Dr. Amin Yu for proposing the motion today because it emphasizes the importance of not just attracting talents to Hong Kong, but also providing more room for development for the youth. We have great opportunities in Shanghai. We have 9,000 odd enterprises. We have tens of thousands of Hong Kong people working in 20 odd professions in 8 major areas. We should specifically work with the Shanghai Authority to deepen cooperation rather than just working with the Guangdong provincial government in general. We should have a framework for recognition of qualifications, as many other members say. We have for many sectors such mutual recognition of qualifications arrangement, but not in the education sector. So for sectors that do not have relevant arrangements, can we start somewhere small? It may not have to be the whole of GBA. We can just focus on specific cities. And we can start with certain industries first. I think Shanghai is moving faster, so maybe we can work with Shanghai first. We should also have a platform for the flow of talents. We can refer to the model of the Shanghai, Shenzhen, Hong Kong Youth Innovation and Entrepreneur Hub, providing matching services, even remote interviews, as well as one-stop services for the youth to try to develop their entrepreneur ideas. We can also have some pilot arrangements, AI, data sharing across boundaries. Sharing of data is actually very important. If you cannot share data across boundaries, it will be a great restriction. Again, if we need to start somewhere, maybe we can start with Shanghai. We have often said we want have a 1 hour living circle in Hong Kong, and actually it is very convenient to get to Shanghai as well. It is important to publicize this. I think it's often too general to say one is from the GBA. Maybe you can say we are from a specific area so that there will be greater identity. I think we should work with mainland authorities more, especially the authority in Shanghai, so that we have more opportunities for youth. I so submit.
Mr. Benson Look. Deputy President, I thank Dr. Frankie Ang for the motion on improving GBA talent standards and promoting talent flow in the region. I also thank Mr. Dennis LEUNG for his amendments. To implement the GBA outline development plan, we have to promote GBA talent standards. According to the relevant guidelines, the GBA Standard Center last March promulgated the 2024 GBA Talent Standard Guidelines. In relation to cultivation of talent, there are 3 ways to set standards. First, on talent education, there should be mutual recognition mechanism for professional qualifications. In terms of manpower resources, there should be standards for building an integrated service platform. Third, on vocational training, there should be building of youth entrepreneurship base. To set GBA talent standards, we need deep collaboration among GBA cities. We need alignment of rules and regulations among Hong Kong, Macau, and Guangdong. And through at the social level and other areas, we have to promote our standards so that we can align with the international world. And this will allow us to have a greater say. In terms of mutual recognition as well as talent cultivation, we have to align the standards between Hong Kong, Macau, and Guangdong, as well as those in the international world. The BPA have the following suggestions. First, we have to implement the Amendment Agreement 2 under SIPA. We have to expand development room for setting standards. The idea is to promote cross-boundary standards for different industries. We have to improve the declaration and approval mechanism for professional title recognition. We should also sign MOU as well as expression of interests with different cities in the mainland to deepen collaboration. This is also to implement mutual recognition for professional qualifications. In terms of promoting mutual recognition concerning VPAT, we should transform the I to an UAS, and we should step up collaboration with the VPET institutions in Shenzhen. For emerging industries, we should speed up the mutual recognition mechanism with the mainland. We have a vast market for electric vehicles, and the repair workers in Hong Kong, in terms of the training standards, there is still room for development and improvement. So we need alignment of standards in this area between Hong Kong and the mainland in order for us to expand the share of electric vehicles in the market. All in all, the BPA believe that through data sharing, mutual recognition of qualifications, that we can expand our ecosystem and competitiveness. Thank you.
Does any other member wish to speak? If no, Dr. Franking Yan, you may now speak on the amendment. Thank you, Deputy President. Hong Kong is the international hub for high-caliber talents in the GBA. We need to play the dual role of bringing in and going global. I believe the flow of talents will enhance the competitiveness of the entire region and create more high-quality job opportunities. I'm grateful to Mr. Dennis LEUNG for his amendment. His proposed amendments enrich the contents of my original motion. 1. Safeguarding the employment priority for local workers, and 2. Enhancing communication and forging consensus with various industry councils and labor unions. We have been urging the government to safeguard local employment priority first. We also ask the administration to keep a close watch on the impact of the measures. We definitely support this. Next, in relation to enhancing communication and forging consensus with different industry councils and labor unions, I believe this will help the government devise more targeted policies on manpower. We need to work together with the Guangdong province and Macau to establish a GBA standard when it comes to talent. Here, once again, I thank Mr. Dennis LEUNG for his amendment. I so submit.
Secretary for Labor and Welfare. Deputy President, I would like to again thank Dr. Amanyun for proposing motion and Mr. Dennis LEUNG for proposing amendments. I would also like to thank the members for giving suggestions and expressing their views. I would like to give a brief response here. As I said in my opening remarks, the SAR government has so far been adopting a multi-pronged approach which prioritizes the nurturing of local talent supplemented by the admission of talents to enrich the local talent pool, create further impetus for Hong Kong's development, and actively dovetail with the National 14th Five-Year Plan and the construction of the GBA to expedite our integration into the development of the country. Cities in the GBA have different strengths and positioning. There is ample room for cooperation in talent nurturing, recruitment, and exchange. To jointly build a hub for high-caliber talents in the GBA, bureaus and departments have been working to promote the development of professional talents in Hong Kong and other cities in the GBA in the relevant sectors, facilitate mutual recognition of qualifications of professionals and align relevant standards. The bureaus and departments include the Department of Justice, Development Bureau, Education Bureau, EEB, Health Bureau, Housing Bureau, FSTB, and the LWB. Bureaus and departments attach great importance to the flow of talents in the GBA. They maintain close communication with stakeholders in the relevant sectors to understand the latest developments of the sectors and their manpower needs, and discuss with the responsible units in the other GBA cities to formulate relevant measures and or enhance existing measures. Under the CEPA framework, the mainland has provided concessions and implemented facilitation measures for Hong Kong in most areas relating to trade and services, including relaxing the qualification requirements for the provision of services by Hong Kong professionals, permitting Hong Kong professionals to sit for examinations, register, practice, and set up businesses in the mainland, and encouraging mutual recognition of qualifications by professional bodies. At present, arrangements for mutual recognition of professional qualifications or exemption of examination papers for professional qualification examinations have been put in place in a number of service areas.
In construction and related work services, as Dr. Leung said, the Development Bureau, in collaboration with relevant mainland authorities and organizations, allows qualified Hong Kong enterprises and professionals in 5 professional disciplines to, without arrangements on mutual recognition of qualifications, as long as the professionals have completed simple procedure of filing of records and have obtained equivalent qualifications, to provide services directly in the GBA cities. On the other hand, the Development Bureau has been working with the Guangdong Province and Macau to establish GBA standards and take forward the one examination multiple certification arrangement. In future, we will continue to enhance the necessary complementary measures to support the cooperation among Guangdong, Hong Kong, and Macau in the training of construction talents. For financial services, the government has been endeavoring to build a pool of financial talents to create impetus for growth of the industry. Under the CPO framework, the mainland and Hong Kong have introduced liberalization measures in respect of the professional and trade qualifications of different financial services trades, which are conducive to attracting mainland financial talents to Hong Kong. Apart from the mechanism for mutual recognition of qualifications in securities, funds, and futures and banking sector, for the accountancy sector, the HKICPA and the CICPA, Chinese Institute of Certified Public Accountants, have put in place arrangements for exemptions from multiple modules. In respect of estate agency services, the regulatory bodies of the mainland and Hong Kong may recommend qualified estate agents to attend training courses and examinations specially organized by the other side. Upon completion of such training and passing of the examinations, the individuals may apply for qualifications to practice in the jurisdiction of the other side. On environmental protection, Hong Kong has an edge in environmental laws and regulations, international accreditation, and professional management. The EPD has been collaborating with relevant professional institutes to provide internship and training opportunities. As Dr. Leung said, and thanks to him, together with the HKIQE, the EPD plans to explore with the mainland feasibility of establishing accreditation for environmental professionals to foster exchanges and cooperation between Hong Kong and mainland cities in the GBA. Regarding dispute resolution services, the legal authorities will strive to publish the panel of arbitrators in the GBA within this year to promote the linkage among arbitrators in the GBA and establish a diversified dispute resolution mechanism. Deputy President, we have talked about much work we have done so far, but we also need to take forward other measures, such as the measures on mutual recognition of qualifications, what multiple members said about removal of restrictions. We do agree some of the directions we should take. However, say for what Dr. Wendy Hong said, whether we should try to more actively recruit leading talents. As we said in the anti-chamber session, we already have a mechanism for identifying top-notch talents. If members have any recommendations, please tell us. We will proactively reach out to them. Some members also talked about how students receiving FEPAD can come to Hong Kong directly. We already have under FEPAS related arrangements. We do want more skilled professionals to come study in Hong Kong and then work in Hong Kong upon graduation. We will continue to work with relevant mainland organizations on this. Bureaus and departments will continue to take into account the latest developments and manpower demand situation of various trades and industries in formulating and refining training strategies and measures to enhance vocational and professional skills of talents. In addition, the VTC and the ERB also provide comprehensive vocational and professional education and training to enhance the overall competitiveness of the local workforce. Quality human resources are an important driving force for development. There is a global competition for talent. Given the different strengths and positioning of the cities in the GBA, Hong Kong will continue to join hands with other GBA cities to attract, retain, nurture, and utilize talents. With a view to dovetailing with the National 14th Five-Year Plan and the development of the GBA, expediting our integration into the overall development of the country, the government is grateful to members for their concern on the relevant subject. Bureaus and departments will continue to maintain close communication with industry stakeholders and associations, as well as liaise and discuss with responsible authorities in the other GBA cities to promote the development of professional talents in Hong Kong and other GBA cities, facilitate mutual recognition of qualifications, and enhance alignment of relevant standards to facilitate the flow of talents in the region.
修正案。
I now call upon Mr. Dennis LEUNG to move an amendment. President, I move my amendment. I propose a question to you that Mr. Dennis LEUNG's amendment be passed. Mr. Tommy Zheng claims a division. The bell will ring for 5 minutes. Please proceed to vote. Members, please check the votes. If there are no queries, voting shall now stop and the result will be displayed. Election Committee, 33 present, 25 in favor, 3 against, 5 abstention. Members returned by the functional constituencies and geographical constituencies, 49 present, 39 for, 9 against, 0 abstentions. As the question is agreed by a majority of the 2 groups of members present, I declare the motion passed. Dr. Frankie Ngan, you have 1 minute 32 seconds to speak. Thank you, President. I thank members for their valuable views, and I believe society in general supports the flow of talent between Hong Kong and the GBA. We also agree that Hong Kong plays a very important role in this connection, allowing professionals to practice across the boundary has achieved initial results, but there is still further room for achieving unified standards for professionals in relation to streamlining of procedures and visa applications. This will help us to attract and retain talents. I believe this motion will be helpful in forging a consensus in society, driving innovation of policies, and this will also inject impetus into the GBA development. I urge members to support my motion. And I'll put the question to you that Dr. Frankie Ngan's motion as amended by Mr. Dennis LEUNG be passed. Will those in favor please raise their hands? Those against, please raise their hands. I think the question is agreed by a majority of each of the 2 groups of members present. I declare the motion as amended passed. Members' motion with no legislative effect.